morning, welcome to my channel. My name's Dawn, I'm the Reclusive Crafter, and today is Quickfire Friday. And what I want to be doing today is a little topper. I say little, it's going to be quite a chunky piece. I have pulled out some cardboard and scruffed it up a bit. I'm going to be using a little piece of this kind of shiny backing, and this is going to be my main feature. So the whole topper is going to work around this. I've also pulled out some lace, some chiffon. I've got an old doily here that I want to make use of some of the flowers here. I've got a bit of muslin that's quite a nice little bluey colour, and I've also got an old piece of netting. This came off you know, the food umbrellas, so it came off that, and I gave it a wash, and it's very old, and I'm just using that as bits and pieces now. A couple of labels and anything else I decide that I want to throw at it. Okay, so the whole process is very, very simple. Let me show you how we start. So when you've got your cardboard, it'll come with this backing on it, and just get something like a little awl or a, something or other that you've got that you can just pop underneath, and just peel away as much as you want to until you've got sort of the desired effect that you want. And then what we're going to do, need a little bit of gesso. If you haven't got gesso, you can make it yourself. If you have a look on YouTube, there's lots of people that will show you how to make it yourself. You can make it out of cornstarch or talcum powder. And I think it's glue that goes with it, but don't quote me on that. I've never actually made my own. I got this huge tub, and I say it is huge. I think it's about a litre of it for a tenner. It's a studio acrylic, so I'll show you the front of it when I put the lid back on. And all we're going to do is just literally just make a mess on it, really. Yeah, I'm trying to get a little bit more adventurous with my crafting and bits that I do. So that's that. Okay, very, very simple. Where is my tissue? It is here. Okay, and then once that's dry, you can dry it with a hairdryer or a dryer or whatever you want to dry it with. We can start adding bits to it, and I'm getting into a right pickle with this. It's a bit look, mess. Let me just clean that edge around. Lovely. If you're anything like me, you need lots of tissue. Let me throw that bit away. Let me pop this back on here. Okay, and it's studio acrylics, gesso. I can't even remember where I picked this up, to be honest with you. It may have been the Works in the UK. Actually thinking about it, I think it was off Amazon, if I remember rightly. So yeah, so that's where I got that from. So very useful, lasts forever, absolutely forever. Okay, and now what I want to do is I want to sew this on here. And I want to try and follow that line there and then just sew around it, and then that, like I say, is going to be my main bit there. So I am going to go away and sew this, and then when I've done that, I'll come back and we'll go through the rest of it. Okay, so don't go away, loads yet to see, won't be long. Right, so I'm back and I have sewn round, so hopefully, let me just stand up so that I can show you. I have sewn across there and all round, done a little bit of zigzaggy there. That's all been done by hand. It's just taken me about an hour to do that, but I think it was worth it. And I did want to use the coloured embroidery silk as well, so I'm happy with that. And I decided to add a few little buttons. I was going to put a label up there, but because this was here anyway, I've added a few little buttons in there with a little bit of lace attached to it, which I think looks nice. And you may also notice as well that I did decide to go with the card without the blue ink on. I actually think that looks nicer than the blue ink. So that's where we've got to so far. So we've gessoed the cardboard, we've attached our main design onto a bit of cardstock, and we've done a bit of stitching around it. And now all that's left is just all the little bits of embellishment. So I've kind of got this planned out in my head. But as with all things, they don't always go according to how we want them to. So we'll just crack on and see how it goes. So I am adding a little bit of this I want to call it lace, but it's more like a crochet. I have introduced you to this before, and I want to pop a little bit of this there, just coming up under there. So I'm going to cut that about there and just hope for the best, really. So we are going to be using quite a bit of Fabri-Tac, I think, for this, or Collal, or Beacon 3-in-1, whatever you've got that is a fabric glue. And because I haven't sewn all the way to the edge, I have got a little lip there that if I wanted to, I can tuck things under. And that is what I am going to do with this. Oh, my glue doesn't want to come out. That's always a pain, isn't it? Why don't my glue want to come out? Here we go. I think we've got it now. We think we've got it. There we go. Pop that across there. A little bit of glue under there. And because it's going to be going up there as well, I'm going to be putting a little bit of glue up there. Now then, hopefully that will hold that in place. We want to pop that down there, squash that into there, and I think, yeah, there we go. So that's the first piece on. Okay, so this is going to probably be that way on, I'm guessing. Maybe even that way on. Okay, so first bit's down. Now I want to add I want to add some of this down this side, and I quite like it all to be a little bit messy, so I'm going to pop some more glue. Come on, please hold out just for the video. That's good little glues. Okay, so if I pop that there, pop that. Doing a lot of popping, aren't we? Right, let's see if we can get this how I want it. Okay, so we're going in a boot. Glue will be dry by the time I decide where I want it. Right, I'm going in about there. Okay, so that's that piece on. Love that. I think that's really pretty, isn't it? And then I'm wanting this to come down here. But I want that behind it. And I don't know, actually. Do I want it behind it or in front of it? Let me have a look, see. I quite like this little flowery bit on it. So I was to pop that there, and then... No, that's too wide. Okay. So I'm going to go with plan A and stick that on there. Now then, this doesn't necessarily need to be this type of glue, but I'm not messing about with... Keep swapping and changing for the purposes of the video. Okay, let me just check. We are still recording. We appear to be. It's always fun, isn't it? When you get through a whole video and find out that you haven't actually recorded anything. Right, so I'm going to pop that on there, liking that. how are we doing? I'd like to see some of this up here actually, so I might go that way with it. Some of this loveliness up here looks fab, doesn't it? About there. Okay, and then this piece I thought could come in under here and just poke out just slightly out the side there. That looks nice. So if I leave that there, and I need to come in about there with some glue, and down here, might come down a bit too far, but never mind. It's always better to have enough, isn't it? Oops, a daisy. And then maybe I could just come up slightly more on that. Yeah, about there. About there. That'll do. Ha ha ha, get in there. It all looks very messy on the back, but it doesn't matter because you're not going to see it, of course. And I want to, now I wonder if that's dried, because I did want to bring this one in there. Perfect. Love it, love it, love it, love it. Okay, so let me pop that down there. Get in there, folks. Oh yes indeedy. Okay, that's nice. Got that coming out there. I like that. Okay, so we don't need that anymore. And then this one, tiny little, that's just a little cut off from the other day when I was doing, what did I do the other day? Oh, I did the little journal cards with this, didn't I? I used this on the journal cards. So I'm going to, because we're not actually going onto any fabric here, I am just going to pop a little bit of the Nouveau on here. Like so. Lovely jubbly, 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 jubbly. And I'm going to go about there with that. Okay. And then this piece, let me have a look, see what this looks like. Maybe I want that round that way, I think. Yeah. Okay, and then that piece is going to come in about there, I reckon. I think that works. So I'm going to put some glue through the netting to start with. Hold that in place. And now I'm going to try and get some glue on the back of this, if I can. Okay, oh that's better, it's coming out better now. Phewy. The blockage seems to have unblocked, which is fab, isn't it? And then this lovely little piece that my very talented mother-in-law did is going to be forever preserved, which I love. That's good, isn't it? Rather than sitting in a drawer, being wasted and not being used, which is the saddest thing ever, isn't it, when somebody has gone to so much trouble to do something. She really was a very, very talented sewer. Right, where did I want this now? Let's have a look, see. So we want that to go about the me Haparunios. Right. See if I can get that to stick down a little. My hands are all sticky. Now I was going to use these flowers up in this corner, but because I've put the buttons there, they are now obsolete. Going to use them for something else at a later date, no doubt. Alrighty, and now there is just one addition to be made. Can you guess what it is yet? Just got a little old flirty bye. We love flirty buys, flirty buys. There we go. Just pop him on there. Throw a bit of glue at him. Tra-la-la. Like that. And pop him. Do I want him down there? No, I think we'll go about there with him. Love that. Nice. Okay. And of course, got to have some gems. And pop a few little gems on him. Finish him off nicely. Perfect amundo. Okay. Right, let's just stick my bits down that don't seem to be sticking. Come along. Stick down. Lovely. Right, so this will now, I do believe, sit like so, as a little, do I want it round that way, or that's quite nice round that way. I can still see some of the gesso at the top there and just down here. Yeah, I think I'm going to go with that like that. So I'm going to throw some glue around first of all and get it positioned, and then I'm going to go in with a bit more glue underneath when I know where it's all sitting. Now then, I do need quite a reasonable amount of glue because this is quite a chunky little piece, and obviously with this being corrugated as well, I need to make sure that it's seated nicely, if I can get it seated nicely. Okay, I think that will probably do, hopefully. Oh, I'll leave that off because I'm going to need that again. Right then, here we go. So we wanted that about there, I believe. Okay, give it a good push down. There we go. Just want to check how wide that actually is. So it's less than, it's about 5.5 inches wide, which is fine, because if that's going to go on the front of a journal, that's a perfect size. Absolutely perfect size. That's if it goes on the front of the journal. Of course, I might do something completely different with it. Who knows, really? So what I want to do now is get some of these little edges tacked down. Make sure they don't come up. Like so. And then it's ready to use however I want to use it, which I think is gorgeous. I'm not going to tack it completely down because I quite like the idea that it's a little bit fluid. There we go. Okay, and that is my little topper done. So we have literally thrown everything by the kitchen sink at it, and I think that's beautiful. I love that. That's really lovely. And then if we seat that onto a page, let me grab a little signature. So this is obviously a signature. Very similar thing going on here, it would appear. And Let me find a page where I haven't got anything. I haven't stuck anything in yet. You're getting a little preview here, guys. Okay, so for instance, if I wanted to stick that on there, instead of using it as a topper for the front of the journal, that would be a beautiful little tuck spot, wouldn't it? Absolutely gorgeous. Love that. So very happy with that. That's what you can do with them. It can, like I say, it can also be the front of the journal as well. You can pop it onto the front of the journal, have it as the mainstay on the front of a journal. You can do whatever you like with them. They're fab, aren't they? So that's it for today. I do hope you like it. I love it. Love the fact I've been able to use that as well. And I'll see you all tomorrow for, what are we tomorrow? Stash Busting Saturday. Okay, so take care, everybody. See you soon. Bye.